Hey VC, what's up? It's me, yours truly. I am back to post a quick video here. Back to do a recent finds video. Just kind of sharing with you some of the stuff that's popped in since the last recent finds video, as well as some awesome VCLT. I want to give two huge VCLT thanks as well. And we're definitely going to start off with that. And the first person I want to give a big thanks to is Bill over at What's Spinning 2021. That's his channel name. And yeah, he sent this over right here. Had no idea it was coming. John Batista, Beethoven Blues. Kind of a cool one to receive too, because I've seen some clips of him online, like on Instagram and stuff like that. I think some stuff on YouTube, but never actually sat back and listened to any of his stuff from start to finish. So just one of those, kind of classically trained geniuses kind of thing. And really, really cool album. I know Bill mentioned that he thought this is one of his favorite albums from 2024. And anyone that follows his channel kind of knows he has a very wide taste in music and likes great stuff. So the minute he had kind of said that, I knew this was going to be kind of a treat. So, Bill, thanks so much for thinking about me. I mean, he sent me some Better Than Ezra stuff a couple months ago and then followed it up with another kind of awesome piece like this. And I just appreciate you taking the time to think about me and sending this over. So really, truly appreciate that, Bill. And then second VCLT thanks I want to give is to the one and only Aaron Mutha Alamere. I'm sure you guys know him here in the VC. Just one of the most knowledgeable people music-wise that I think I probably know. And the cool thing, the thing that I'm always so impressed by with Aaron, he likes all kinds of music. So he's all over the place with everything. But it's always impressive to watch him dive into his glam, hard rock area, if you will, or genres, especially that 80s and maybe early 90s stuff, because he's that guy that just like the A groups that we all know, like he's so heavy into the B groups and the C groups and even the D artists that like no one's ever heard of. And he's been rocking out to these things for years and years and years and knows all the lyrics. And it's like some of his favorite albums. And he's constantly just sharing stuff that you're like, I've never heard of that before. His knowledge in that area is just, it's sick. And as always, Aaron goes way overboard when he starts sending out VCLT. So he does it again. So just kind of the cool stuff that he sent over. One was this right here, which is Brother Kane. I know an album he's talked about a number of times on his channel, and just kind of really a very, very cool album. 30th anniversary, you can see their first time on vinyl. So just another great one that I'm so happy to finally have in the collection. And, thanks to the one and only Aaron Mutha. And then he also, he had to add a bunch of extras, as he always does. Black Sabbath, This Is the Best, The Ultimate in Heavy Metal, and just kind of a single LP comp with all the stuff you would expect, Paranoid Nib, Iron Man Changes, Sweet Leaf, Snowblind, on and on and on. So a really cool one there to add to the Black Sabbath collection. And then he sent the one and only Black Label Society, Doom Crew. This is their 2021 release, I think, or something like that. But another cool one that I didn't have in my collection. I just saw them last year. I went and saw Black Label Society, and it was freaking awesome. So yeah, awesome to have this one in the collection as well. And of course, Aaron doesn't stop there. Just for good measure, he has to add in this awesome copy of Motley Crue Dr. Feelgood with the lenticular cover there. And the cool thing about this one too is that, I have an OG pressing of this. I had the reissue that came out a couple years ago. I have the copy in the Journal of the Damn box set. But I did not have the Walmart exclusive, and I love collecting Walmart exclusives when I get my hands on them. So this is just like a perfect fit right into the collection. So Aaron, as always, man, thanks so much for thinking about me. Thanks for overdoing the package like you always do, and just so appreciate it. So yeah, Aaron and Bill, thank you so much, guys. So moving into some of the other pickups here, just kind of some random stuff. I think kind of some audiophile stuff throughout the course of this as well. We'll start off here with Jimmy Smith, and this is Jimmy Smith Live, Root Down. Really, really cool album. I was not familiar with this one at all, but there was kind of some chatter in the VC about how great this album was, and then we got one in the shop and we kind of gave it a listen, and I was like, yes, that is a must-have. I mean, Jimmy Smith here is just kind of, I guess, typically more jazz, but this is kind of very, very funky soul jazz. I mean, almost maybe in the fusion category or whatever, but also just kind of a very cool, raw live recording. So, yeah, just a really, really awesome album to listen to, just sonically, and the music and everything was just kind of a really great experience. And I was like, that's an album I want in my freaking collection. And as you see, it's an acoustic sounds pressing too. So really, really awesome album. Highly recommend checking it out. Even just streaming it or whatever. Highly recommend checking this out. That's his 1972 release. Finally got my copy of Van Halen live in Dallas. This is the RSD. One of the guys I work with, Scott, picked this up for me when he was out at another shop and found it and knew that I wanted one, so he grabbed it for me, which is awesome. But tons of people have spoken about that from Record Store Day. One of the legends in jazz, Andrew Hill, Grassroots. I have a number of Andrew Hill albums. This is one of his albums I'm not familiar with. So this is going to be kind of a new experience for me to go through and give this a spin tonight, which is kind of cool because I always love discovering new jazz. So another great Tone Poet release, so you know it's going to be good. One of the albums that I feel like a lot of people tend to say is their favorite Bob Dylan album, which is Blood on the Tracks. Had a nice MoFi copy that had been sitting in the shop for a while, so I decided to go ahead and pick that up. Always like those MoFi pressings. So that's another cool piece to add. And a little Heat Wave, Greatest Hits. Another really cool album to kind of go into the 80s R&B section. Everyone tends to know their song Boogie Nights, which is a huge hit off of this, as well as Always and Forever. My favorite song is probably Gangsters of the Groove. That's just a video I remember seeing back when I was in grade school on BET's Video Soul all the time. And I just always remember that line, "Don't try to hide, there ain't no protection, even from the FBI." Like, that line just stuck out to me for some reason. Like, all these years later, I still love hearing it. So, Heat Wave, awesome legendary band right there. So glad to finally get that Greatest Hits. As well as little George Jones, Super Hits. Kind of a greatest hits by one of the old country legends right there. With songs like Tennessee Whiskey and He Stopped Loving Her Today, one of my favorite songs by him. Kind of a dark song too, but yeah, really, really good stuff. I remember I had this CD for quite some time. So it was kind of, years ago when I first started collecting CDs. So it's like really cool to find that on vinyl, which is awesome. And staying on the country scene, little Aaron Watson, American Soul. Again, another country artist is fairly new to me. Just had not heard of him before, and I saw this cover when we had it in the shop, and I was like, again, let me give that a spin, and really, really liked it. It was really cool stuff. And I love that American flag feather on the back. That's pretty cool. So yeah, another just kind of great new country discovery for me. And so glad they got around to reissuing this, which of course is Great White's Hooked. Nice that they reissued it too with the band cover, which is cool. So that's their 1991 release, again on blue vinyl. So yeah, really, really awesome stuff there. For quite some time, that hasn't been the easiest Great White album to get. Now let's get back to a little old school rock and roll here, a little Eddie Cochran. Summertime Blues, Long Tall Sally, Blue Suede Shoes. Just some old school rock and roll, and just a nice little compilation album right there. So another great addition. And then a couple analog production pressings, two of the newer ones that have come out for 2025. You got Yes's Fragile, Roundabout, all that great stuff. 2 LP, 45 RPM. Haven't spun this one yet, but if it's anything like all the other analog productions, it's gonna, like a Roundabout's gonna sound just freaking amazing with that analog productions. And then the exact same thing with they've been doing a number of Otis reissues, it seems like which is awesome because it's freaking Otis. The Dictionary of Soul, Complete and Unbelievable. This is his release from 1966. The Fa 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 song, Try a Little Tenderness, of course, is a gigantic hit off of here. So again, just kind of awesome Otis on an Analog Productions pressing. And we'll kind of stay in the analog world here. The Jazz Crusaders, Freedom Sound. This is their release from 1961. Again, this is one I'm also not as familiar with. I haven't spun this one yet, but all the analog productions that come through the shop, I like to grab them because I've yet to be disappointed by one. And yeah, so this is going to be kind of a new experience for me as well on this one. So a couple of new ones here to kind of check out over the next couple of days of spinning. And finally brought this home. It's been out for quite some time, and I've kind of had my copy reserved at the shop and just got around to finally getting it after all this time. But the Van Halen 2 MoFi One Step. I'm not huge with the MoFi One Steps. It's just the specific albums that I really want, I'll grab, but I don't hunt these down or pre-order or that type of thing. But yeah, all the Van Halen ones, of course, I definitely want to grab. So nice to get that one in the collection. And then 2 CDs that I'll show. I picked up 2 CDs this past week. We got a huge collection of CDs in that I actually had about 15 or 20 things that I wanted. But I only grabbed 2 because we like to kind of play the rule of let stuff sit in the shop, at least for a week or so to give all of our customers a chance first. And then if stuff is left over, then we'll kind of go in, especially when like big used collections come in. So the 2 that I did grab was this one right here, which is, sorry about the glare, Tony Williams. This is Lifetime. Very cool jazz CD here. I actually have the Tone Poet of that, but it was kind of nice to get that on CD. I do love collecting those Blue Note CDs. And then this one here, the Tony Williams Lifetime, right? If I can get the, too much glare going on there. But yeah, the Tony Williams Lifetime, and this is Emergency. And again, just one that I wasn't as familiar with, but we gave it a spin the other day, and I was like, yeah, that's one I definitely need to grab. Just kind of a really cool jazz fusion jam type of thing, and it's just a really, really awesome spin. So I decided to grab these 2 CDs, and like I said, if there's still the ones that I want left in that batch, next week I'll come home with probably 10 or 15 more if they're still at the shop. But anyway, there you go, VC. Appreciate you guys stopping by and checking out things as always. Again, Bill, Aaron, thank you guys so much for thinking about me. Always appreciate that. And we will talk to you soon. All right, take care, guys.